Alrighty, guys, this is your lecture summary for chapter 5. So what we're going to be talking about is the individual's performance, okay? So we're looking at what they're determining as far as what it is. We're looking at performance is going to be the ability, the talents, the interests of the person, along with the effort that they put in, their motivation, their work ethic, their attendance, and then, of course, their support, the support that they get from the organization, which is training, development, equipment, technology, standards, management, coworkers. So this deals with an individual's performance, is how they do, and the factors that lead up to it. Now, when we're talking about the relationship between the organization and the employees as far as job performance, there are two factors that we talk about here, and they're all compared based on Maslow's theory of self-actualization. Okay, so we're looking at the um, Maslow's theory, and it's actually in a pyramid shape where you're talking about needs, and you're talking about the fact that first the employee needs to make sure that they have their psychological or physiological needs taken care of: shelter, okay, safety, security, their belonging, their love, their esteem toward their themselves and then toward others. And then the top level being self-actualization. But of course, self-actualization comes at the top, but they need to have the foundations first before they can consider self-actualization. So when they talk about the need theory and the two-factor theory, what they are looking at is the motivators for what somebody needs to be motivated. The fact that they're esteemed by others, they're um, told that they're doing a good job, they're self-aware. Then, of course, the interpersonal relationships that they have not only with the company but outside the company as well, and then their salary and their working conditions. This all plays into this performance. And then, of course, their expectancy. And you talk about expectancy theory on the area of motivation. So, very simple. If I do this task, I do it at the level that I'm supposed to. The outcome is good. I should get a reward. I should get a paycheck. Plain and simple, right? On the other area as well, the same thing is that because I'm paying you, I should get your level of motivation, your performance should be at this high standard, and the products or the outcome should be really good. That's what I'm expecting, right? As an employer. Then we also talk about motivating individuals. Now, these are the hardest things. We know that, of course, supposedly they say that the top motivators are being appreciated, respect in the workplace, and being able to utilize personal capabilities. True. However, if we get really real, okay, pay and employment security is going to be at the top. That's where I disagree with your author. Pay me so that I can live, so I can meet my obligations, my responsibilities to myself and to my family, and then provide me a place where I know I'm not going to be booted out if I do a job well done, or that the organization is doing well because it's thriving, it's doing really well. Not like some of the other types of areas where we're seeing that they're actually going by the wayside. The Sears, Kmart, Payless. Now, Payless went away as far as brick and mortar stores, but they still have the um, online area that you can purchase. But going back to employees, pay me, give me a good place, a secure work environment where I'm going to go ahead and have my training. You're going to listen to my feedback. You're going to provide me my benefits. And this is going to continue and improve as my level of performance improves and my promotions improve as well based on my skill and my experience. The other thing that your author talks about is the individual and the organizational relationship, where the individual and organizational uh, uh, performance and expectations come together is based on the contract, satisfaction, commitment, engagement, and loyalty. The employees um, knowing that I've got a contract with these people, I'm satisfied, I'm committed to do my job, I'm doing my engagement, I'm being trained, so I have a loyalty to them. Organization, I expect because of the contract and because of the work environment that I'm providing, a commitment from my employees. They're going to be satisfied, they're going to be engaged, and they're going to be loyal. Okay? So, in this psychological contract, employers will provide competitive compensation, flexibility for the work balance, and career development. Employees will then contribute their continuous skill and improvement, increased productivity, a reasonable time with the organization, and extra efforts and results when needed. Now, one thing that we need to realize also is the fact that our millennial employees stay with a job less than a year at times, and it's not uncommon. Not because they get bored, but they're looking at the next place where they're going to improve their skills. It's all about them. It's all about increasing their skills based on the organization. Now, they're not being disloyal to the organization because while they're at the organization, they're going to give them their best. That's just the way we see things changing and different. With this contract, as far as the global concerns, we're looking at the fact that we've got variations from employees in the United States and employees from other countries. What do they consider? What do they want? What do their countries and cultures actually go ahead and bring with them as far as how they feel about this contract and their concerns as well? The components of the job satisfaction for this is, of course, adequate pay, opportunity for advancement, great supervision, great co-workers in teams, and of course, the nature of what the job is. Now, let's face it, in reality, you're going to give this for that. I'm getting really good pay, and there's one guy that I cannot stand at the job site. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. Okay? Um, I'm up for advancement. I'll deal with my supervisor right now because the next one that's up the line is going to be even better. It's reality. This is just the way the nature of employee and employers go. Those employees that are engaged, put in the extra effort, are highly motivated, and are self-motivated. They don't need anybody to tell them what they need to do. They're always active. They're always busy. They're fully vested in their jobs. Disengaged employees simply just put in the time. 8 to 5, I'm here. I don't put any extra work. I'm done. Um, they do minimal of what they need to get done. They're already checked out. As soon as they check in, they're looking at when lunchtime is. Um, they do only their basic jobs. They don't want to do anything. Now, again, some employees that do just the minimal, that do their jobs, may not be disengaged. They're just happy with where they are. That's happy where they are. They're happy with what they're doing, and they don't want to be bothered. That's just what they want to do. And they're doing well in their work. They're being productive. Leave them alone. Let them do what they need to get done. So we have to be very careful about trying to determine whether they're disengaged or whether that's just the way they are. So organizational leadership then is a new term where the employee acts in a way that improves the well-being of the social environment of an organization, meaning you're not putting stuff that you shouldn't about your employer on social media. I mean, come on. But there's actually people that do that. And then they wonder why they get a pink slip at the end of the work week or the work month. You have to be very careful about the things that you post on social media. And we'll get to that. People that are absent, those that are disengaged, um, you're going to see that the indirect costs, of course, to the company is low productivity, not getting the things that are going to be that are supposed to get done, the loss of the supervisor's time, if you have to let them go, the replacement in training, quality, low production, customer dissatisfaction, Somebody's going to have to take over for them over time, all kinds of things that go on. How do you address it? You discipline them. You also see how they also need to see how you're rewarding those that do a job well done. Hopefully that will create this envy about wanting to be good as well and how they can do to meet the standards so they get these rewards as well. It doesn't always happen with people. The formula suggested by the U.S. Department of Labor is the number of persons minus the days lost job absence during the period, number of average employees, and the number of work days times 100 is the way we measure absenteeism. Okay? What that means also, if it's a high number, then we need to start looking at what we can do to cut down on employee absenteeism and turnover. That's another one. Turnover is different now. We have one where it says it's an involuntary. That's when they're terminated. You're done. You did something you shouldn't have done, you're off. Or it's a layoff. We're not doing it well, so we need to reduce our labor force. Employees that leave by choice, I got another job, I'm done. Or they decide that they're going to retire. And then, of course, functional turnover. Lower performing or disruptive employees leave. You're thankful when that happens, believe me. The worst part, though, is that they leave at a critical time. If employees leave for reasons outside of the control of the employer, like family, there's nothing they can do about that. And then, of course, controllable, those that can be influenced by the employer by pay raises, bonuses, motivation, gift cards, competitions, just to keep the employee motivated. And then, of course, the drivers of retention, rewards, career training, development, opportunities, work-life balance, they go on and on. Retaining top performers, you want to mentor them. You also have to identify them. And you also have to let them know that they're the top performers. And you've got to try to give them regular feedback as well. You're trying to, again, manage retention, keeping those that you need to keep, evaluations, review your turnover, figure out who you've got in succession as far as your succession plan, so that if somebody leaves and you know what you need to get done. Get your exit interviews also to do your data analysis, so that when somebody leaves, especially if it's voluntary, you find out what you can improve on and make things better to retain the employees that you do have. And then, of course, you have to follow up, track the intervention results, find out if that's working, and then again, do it again. See how this is going to continue. That's how you keep that employee-employer relationship. Okay? If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me, and I'll see you on the flip side.